Hello and welcome to our Pinterest deep dive. Last week I told you about my content pyramid, which is my favorite way to build out content. So you only have to create it once, then you just multiply it up all of your social media and email streams. So part of the email or the content pyramid is Pinterest. And Pinterest is kind of confusing. Pinterest used to be a massive driver for SEO, and now it's not. And so the question is, why would I still use Pinterest? Why would I utilize it if it's not going to increase my SEO directly? So let's talk about it. SEO is when Google is scanning your website and it's seeing how authoritative it is. It's seeing if people are liking the content they're seeing on it and things like that. So what Pinterest used to do was create a direct link from your website to Pinterest, and it would create what's called a backlink. And backlinks are really important for SEO. So eventually Google figured out, man, Pinterest actually isn't like a backlink valid source that's saying this content is really important because the maker of the content is who is pinning it to Pinterest. So what Google did is they were like, okay, let's take away the backlink rankings for Pinterest, essentially. And this was rough because it used to push you up so far in Google when you would have that backlink to Pinterest. So when they took it away, some websites suffered and a lot of people stopped using the platform in their marketing. But the reason you can still use Pinterest and you should still be using Pinterest is even though it's not creating a direct backlink to your content through Pinterest, Pinterest is still driving tons of traffic to your posts when people click on them, which is good. You want traffic to your posts, even if it's from Pinterest. The more traffic you have, the more valid your content seems to Google, even though it's not saying, hey, this is a valid backlink. And I don't know if I explained what a backlink was earlier, so I'm going to explain it right now just in case you're confused. A backlink is just when another website directly links to your website. This is basically like citing a source, and it's very validating for your website. So that's what a backlink is. That's why Google likes it, because it sees that backlink as saying, wow, this is a credible source for information. So that's what a backlink is. And that's why they took it away from Pinterest, because the makers of the content themselves were pinning it to Pinterest and creating that backlink, not necessarily someone saying from an outside source, this content is really valuable. So that is why. Sorry, I didn't explain that earlier. So why would you still be pinning to Pinterest? It's driving traffic to your website, which is a good thing. People are still using Pinterest as a search engine, especially in the wedding community. So when brides are looking for wedding inspiration, they're going to pop on Pinterest and say wedding inspiration. They're going to say dusty blue wedding or fall wedding, winter wedding, outdoor wedding. So as you, working in the wedding industry, are producing content and putting on weddings and filming and photographing weddings that have those keywords, you should be blogging about them, then pinning all of that to Pinterest with the proper keywords. So if you do a dusty blue wedding, and that's the color scheme, and it's gorgeous, and maybe you're the photographer, what you're going to do is you're going to blog about a dusty blue wedding. And you're going to pin all of those pins to Pinterest with the keywords dusty blue wedding and whatever other keywords. If it was an outdoor dusty blue wedding, dusty blue wedding, those are your keywords. You're going to pin that to Pinterest. Then when people are searching for inspiration, they're going to click on that and come back to your website and say, wow, this photographer did an awesome job with that dusty blue wedding, like what I want. I'm going to book with them. If you're a videographer, you can pin your videos, which is huge because people will search for wedding video inspiration, outdoor wedding video, adventure wedding video, national park wedding video. So whatever you have that's applicable, pin it to Pinterest. You can even create shorter form content for Pinterest if you wanted to do like a 10-second highlight type teaser video just for Pinterest. You can do that. Or just take out little moments like first looks. People look for first look inspiration and they want to see how other people have done it. So go ahead and chop up your videos into these little moments and pin them to Pinterest. And the more people click on it, the more traffic it drives to your site, which is a good thing for your SEO. People are discovering you, and they're coming to you in an organic way when they're coming through Pinterest. Even though Google took away their backlink, like validation, sending traffic to your website from Pinterest is still super valuable, and it's a great way for people to find you and for you to reach new audiences. So, how would you optimize your Pinterest profile, you might ask? One easy way to do it is to schedule your pins, and you can actually do this natively in Pinterest, which is huge because not a lot of other social platforms let you do that. So just go in, and as you're pinning maybe through a blog post with lots of pictures, or you're pinning your videos and you're doing multiple little videos and little snippets of the day, schedule them to come out like one day after another, or maybe schedule 5 to come out during one day, then another 5 images to come out another day, and etc., so on and so forth, because Pinterest wants you to pin a lot, which I roll. Like, who has time for that? Not me. It's really easy for photographers because they get so much content out of a wedding day, and also planners and other people who are going to have access to those photos. And videographers, we don't get as much content from the day, so it's kind of like, meh, what do we do? But pin as much as you can, as much content as you can. Try to pin as many things individually as you can so you get more pins in a quantity kind of way. So try to pin different things at different times, schedule out the different times because it'll save you a lot of time. And then just try to load up your Pinterest so you've got stuff coming out once a day or every couple hours through the scheduling feature for each wedding. And that, I think, is the easiest way to grow your Pinterest audience and to get ranking on Pinterest. So I hope this helps and explains a little bit about the backlinking and why people were kind of mad with Pinterest for a little bit and why it's still a really viable source for organic traffic. So I will see you next time.